when you're weary.
This week in Jamaica Now, Jamaican singer Tessanne Chin in the finals of the U.S. vocal competition The Voice will hear what her rival coach Blake Shelton has to say. Former alleged shower posse gangster Richard Storyteller Morrison sues the government over 1991 extradition. Government criticized over its rush to pass IMF-mandated legislation, and thousands brave pouring rain to attend the memorial service of Nelson Mandela. The details of these and other stories coming up after the break.
Get the People's app, the Star app, with advice from their pastor, views from Raga Shanti and Miss Kitty, and laughs from Blacker right on your BlackBerry phone.
I'm Damian Mitchell, and this is Jamaica Now. Jamaicans across the world tune in to the American talent show The Voice last week to hear that singer Tessanne Chin is among the 3 finalists for this week's episode. Tessanne is chasing a recording contract with Universal Music Group and $100,000. Her performance of Bridge Over Troubled Waters last week saw another explosion on Twitter and several campaigns aimed at getting votes for her. There was also an aggressive campaign for her song to be bought from iTunes, and by midday Tuesday, Tessanne's performance was at number 1.
I'm sailing right behind like a bridge over troubled water.
3 days later, rival coach Blake Shelton declared that the Jamaican was his pick to win the competition this year. I think with her performance of Bridge Over Troubled Water, something happened, Blake told the Examiner.com. Something clicked. She's been great all this time, and I've been one of the first ones who has been frustrated with the fact that she's been kind of held to reggae sound. The government is facing criticisms over its rush to pass legislation required under its agreement with the International Monetary Fund. Only recently, the lower house as well as the Senate debated and passed the Securities Amendment Act in one sitting. The opposition leader Andrew Holness has accused the government of using the parliament as a rubber stamp for the cabinet decisions. Meanwhile, political commentator Martin Henry says while the move to step up the pace of approving legislation is a good thing, it must be done with caution. Alleged former shower posse gangster Richard Storyteller Morrison is suing the Jamaican government over his controversial extradition to the United States in 1991. Mr. Morrison is seeking from the government millions of dollars in damages for breaches of his constitutional rights. The former shower posse leader is arguing that he was extradited to Florida on June 12, 1991, despite filing a notice of appeal to challenge his extradition. In February, Morrison told the Gleaner's Current Affairs program On the Record that he felt disowned by Jamaica.
The worst moment that I can remember is one day a prosecutor looked at me and said, my country cares nothing about me. So he is not worried about breaching the treaty. I felt so small.
The dispute between Elector Manley Boyne and the North-East St. Anne MP Shahini Robinson over the legal costs in her dual citizenship case is heading to the Court of Appeal. Boyne is appealing a Supreme Court decision to cut his $15.3 million award to about $4.5 million. At the same time, the lawyer representing Mrs. Robinson has filed a counter-appeal. In the Vybz Kartel murder trial last week, presiding judge Lennox Campbell appealed to the 12-member jury for patience as the court continues to hear testimony in their absence. The jury has been out of the court for more than 1 week. Justice Campbell has stressed that the court is trying its best to wrap up the hearing. Kartel, whose real name is Adidja Palmer, is charged jointly with entertainer Sean Campbell, also known as Sean Storm, Kyra Jones, Shane Williams, and Andre St. John for the 2011 murder of 27-year-old dancer Clive Lizard Williams. Thousands of South Africans joined close to 100 world leaders in pouring rain on Tuesday for a memorial service for former President Nelson Mandela. The former South African president died last Thursday at age 95. The 4-hour service has been described as one of the biggest gatherings of international dignitaries in recent years, with more than 100 current and former heads of government attending. U.S. President Barack Obama received a standing ovation after his tribute. But since the memorial service, it's the controversy over a sign language interpreter which has been dominating headlines. The deaf community says he was only signing gibberish. Security experts say he posed a security risk. In the meantime, the interpreter has apologized if he offended anyone, saying he is schizophrenic. Tansankwa Janti also reported that he saw angels at the event. And that's it for this edition of Jamaica Now, your weekly review of the big news stories. Send us your comments at onlinefeedback@gleanerjm.com. You may tune into Power 106 FM for regular updates. Follow us on Twitter at Jamaica Gleaner and on Facebook at Gleaner Jamaica. I'm Damian Mitchell, and as we go, we bring you some of the messages to Tessanne on Twitter after Monday night's semi-final performance.
When you're weary, feeling small, when tears are in your eyes, I will dry them all. I'm on your side. Oh, when times get rough and friends just can't be found, like a bridge over troubled water, I will